All right, so this is gonna be a review of Meg 2, The Trench. It's getting pretty bad reviews, at least from what I saw. Um, and I agree, it's not a good movie. But I didn't like the first one. I just watched the first one a couple days ago on Max to prepare for this. I was planning to probably review it, and I didn't like that movie. I thought it was boring. I didn't care for most of the characters other than Jason Statham. And other than the climax being kind of fun, where the people are getting, killed and we're boosting the kill count and all that. Other than that, I found it pretty uninteresting and pretty boring. I thought it was pretty mediocre. But this is definitely worse. This is directed by Ben Wheatley, and I'll say right now, this does not feel like a sequel to that first Meg movie at all. I'll say what it feels more like, or two things that it feels more like in a second. So we got Jonas, played by Jason Statham, once again. He was a diver in the first movie and took on those megalodons, especially the one at the end. And in this, he's more of like an eco hero or something like that. It feels completely out of left field, right? He starts off doing this like secret spy mission or whatever. He sneaks on this boat and he's trying to stop these people from dumping radioactive waste into the ocean. It's like, what's going on? He's kicking a bunch of ass and all that. I was like, what's happening? It feels like it's completely out of left field. But he goes back and he gets to the facility, the new facility, and it's run by the brother of the love interest and also the son of the love interest's father from the first movie, Jiming Zhang, played by Jing Wu. Um, and he's running things now. He's got these exosuits, whatever. They're taking these regular trips to the trench, and they also have a megalodon there, and he's studying it, and he also is trying to train it for some reason. This is a dumb movie. We still have the daughter of the love interest from the first movie, Mei Ying, played by Shiyu Sophia Kai. She's still there, and Jason Statham's character is taking care of her now because the love interest from the first one, she died, the girl's mom, and so he's taking care of her now. And there's some familiar faces here from the first movie, but there's new people on the team. So they go down to the trench once again, and the Meg that they have there gets loose and follows them there, and then some other Megs pop up, and they get down there, and an explosion happens and things like that. It turns out there's some some secret things going on between within the team and the organization. There's a villain that's just trying to use rocks from the trench to get rich. Each one, or each one of these little rocks costs $1 billion, I think they said, and things like that. So there's an explosion. They get caught down there, stuck down there in the trench, and so they're trying to get out of the trench and get back, while not getting eaten by not just the Meg but also these other little dinosaur creatures that are down there that are attacking them. So, like I said, this is a bad movie, but we'll start off with the positives, like always. Jason Statham, I thought, was good in this. The performances, for the most part, are good, other than one. We'll talk about him. We'll definitely get back to him. Performances are, for the most part, good, especially I think Jason Statham's good in this. I still like his character. I like his character the most of all of them. I will say the characters are definitely better here. They have more personality, at least the ones that stay around. And so I cared about them definitely more than in that first movie. And I think the movie's shot well. Yeah, I think it looks good. I think the trench looks really good. Some good effects. The Megs probably look the best in this, but the other things look all right too. There's some shaky effect shots with like the other dinosaur things. There's an octopus in here randomly and things like that, but they still look good too. And you can have some fun with the ending, with all that going on, even though it's insane. But that's it as far as positives. Um, this is just all over the place. It really is all over the place. It starts off with him doing whatever that was with the radioactive waste and all that. Then they get down there and they're stuck in the trench and they have a mole. The mole that turns out to be working against them, for the villain in this, or the main villain. It's really obvious who it is. Once you know that there is a mole, you're like, this is the person. Right? It's very obvious. Then they do a bunch of stuff in the trench and things, and it's like, it gets so dumb, right? Like with the rocks, each one's worth $1 billion. Somebody knew that right off the bat somehow. But it gets so dumb that it actually makes you feel dumb, because like a character will stop to be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go do this thing." You'll be like, "Do what?" And then they'll go do it, and they'll end up in a sub or whatever's going on, and it's like, are you guys making this up as you go along? Because it kind of feels that way. So we can talk about him now. So DJ, he was a character in the first movie. He didn't have much to do though. He wasn't good in the first movie either. But there wasn't much there other than him saying certain things. He's a coward. He couldn't swim. Now they are really focusing on this character, especially by the end. And the actor's not good. From what I heard, I guess he's from Vine. He got popular on like social media or something like that.
Oh my God, he's dying! Call 911!
What's the number? Really, nigga?
I mean, the dialogue is bad pretty much throughout. Like Jason Statham just has like pretty much trailer lines, pretty much throughout. But this character, DJ, not a good performance, and the dialogue is really like kind of awkward. He feels like he broke into the movie from something else. He feels so out of place. Man, this is crazy. He'd just be talking, and it just none of it works. It's real awkward, right? Worst performance in the movie, and probably the worst character. And they lean on him so much by the end. I guess we can talk about the end now. They have these mercenary people that are going after them. They're some of them are trying to get a phone. Some of them are trying to get a helicopter. One of them gets revealed that, oh no, I can actually fly a helicopter. It's like it feels like it's being made up as we go along, really. And the characters have such thick plot armor. It is crazy. There's a point where one of them shoots a flare into it's like a gas tank or something like that, and it explodes, and the explosion stops like right before that character. I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, there's so much thick plot armor and shit just happening. It goes on forever. It feels like the movie's mostly that, and the stuff on the beach goes on for so long. So there's the Fast and Furious elements of it, right? Where we're forcing these action sequences and things like that. Characters that were just divers or just, like the DJ character who just like on a computer or whatever can now all of a sudden kick all kinds of ass and have thick plot armor and stuff like that, right? But also, right, you have a villain that doesn't care about, anything but money and doesn't care about what they're doing, affecting the ecosystem and things like that, right? You have this big thing where these dinosaurs and creatures or whatever, these monsters are attacking people, throwing them around, eating them, and things like that, which you can kind of have some fun with that stuff. But then, and this is a spoiler, right? This is a spoiler, so be warned. There's a point where one of the Megs saves one of the characters, right? And then gets into a fight with that octopus, essentially to figure out, hey, which one of them is the apex predator? And I was thinking to myself, right in that moment, at that point, that was the one that sealed it. This feels more like a Jurassic World movie. Like, it feels like it started off maybe as a Jurassic World sequel, like it was in the script phase or something like that. And it at some point, somebody just kind of like threw in some action sequences. We already got Jason Statham, he's an action star. Changed the characters into the Meg characters, or at least a couple of them, added some more characters. And changed the locations and threw Meg 2 on there. I mean, it doesn't feel like a Meg movie at all. Like, the Megalodon gets completely lost in everything that's going on with this shit. Like, everything else, you got villains that they're taking on, human villains and other dinosaurs and a random octopus. The Megs, like, they get completely sidelined and they look like bitches next to Jason Statham. He's a fucking hero in this. If Hawkeye can join the Avengers, this character, Jonas, Jason Statham's character in this, he should be an Avenger. He really should. So I'm going to give this trash. I didn't think it was good at all, especially by the end. And yeah, that's going to be it. But I will say, yeah, there is some fun that you can have with it if you're just laughing at how bad it is. But it is truly bad. It really is. So yeah, anyway, that's Meg 2, The Trench. And yeah, we're done.